Hi, my name is Bethany. Here are my speaking notes.
Here's my audience.
I will be speaking about John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy served as the 35th President of the United States. Commonly referred to as JFK, he was the head of many influential things that happened in the United States during his presidency from January 1961 to November 1963. John F. Kennedy's legacy is left behind over 50 years after his death. He left behind much to be recognized, and conspiracy lingers around his untimely death. I chose JFK because he was a very influential president. He was an inspiration to many, and the country was in heartbreak over his assassination. We will discuss JFK's young and popular image, his influence as President of the United States, and we will reflect on his untimely death. To begin, he was the youngest president at the time of his election. White, in apparent perfection, the image of John F. Kennedy in 2013 wrote about JFK and his wife Jackie. They were picture perfect. They were young, sophisticated, and had a wonderful family. Many saw them as celebrities, and they treated them the same as movie stars. Alan Brinkley writes in the article, "The Legacy of John F. Kennedy," he not only had grace in the sense of performing and acting gracefully, he was also a man who seemed to receive grace. He was handsome and looked athletic, he was wealthy, and he had a captivating wife and children, a photogenic family. He was very popular, and his popularity only increased with the people he chose to surround himself with, such as Grace Kelly and Marilyn Monroe. Grace Kelly and her husband used to visit the White House and hang out with JFK and Jackie. Marilyn Monroe famously sang "Happy Birthday" to him in Madison Square Garden. The Kennedys were also regarded as America's royal family. JFK upheld that family was extremely important to him, and him, his wife, along with their children, and his parents and siblings all appeared on the covers of magazines. This is a commemorative magazine of his life. This is the Memorial Edition from 1963. We can pass that off if you would like. He was very influential when it came to the Cuban Missile Crisis and the space race during his presidency. The Cuban Missile Crisis brought threat directly to the United States when missiles were being photographed being built in Cuba by the Soviets. This put Kennedy in a position of deciding whether or not to attack, which may have in turn caused a nuclear war. In the end, he decided it was best to just stop all Soviet ships coming in from Cuba to inspect them. The Soviet Union president at the time decided to dismantle the missiles. According to Klein in Financial History in 2012, the space race was a competition that began during JFK's presidency between the Soviet Union and the United States. This was about spaceflight's capability. Although the Soviets beat the United States to satellites, the United States ended up being a winner overall when we landed a man on the moon. Last but certainly not least, his assassination. The event happened on November 22nd, 1963. He was shot. For the citizens of the United States, the world was standing still. Wall and Adler write in a 2013 article in Salem Press Encyclopedia, 40 minutes after the assassination, Walter Cronkite, a noted news commentator for the Columbia Broadcasting System, reached all that network's affiliated stations with a news flash. The president has been shot. The business of the entire nation ground to a halt. There's much conspiracy surrounding his untimely death. Lee Harvey Oswald, JFK's assassinator, was thought to act alone, or if he was associated with another group of people, such as the mafia. When he was shot by Jack Ruby, a nightclub owner who was also believed to have had ties to the mafia, it was in front of several television cameras. JFK was a very popular and influential person. He was the youngest president of the United States at the time of his election. He had a picture-perfect family, and he contributed in many ways, including the Cuban Missile Crisis and the space race. Unfortunately, his time on Earth was cut short when he was assassinated in 1963. Perhaps some people are not meant to stay on this earth for a long period of time. Perhaps others are meant to stay for many years and create inspiration. Although JFK stayed for a short period of time, and created much inspiration all the same. I encourage you all to take a look at his influential life and aspire to create greatness as he did. Thank you.